Alright, hello everyone. Welcome back to another devlog for You Don't Belong. I know it's been a while. I believe the last time I made one of these was in May. Fortunately and unfortunately, I got a job, so I haven't had as much time to work on the game, but I've definitely had plenty of money being made, so I'm happy about that. I've been doing some software engineering in the meantime. But I've had some time to work on the game recently, and Dylan and I have been working hard on it the last few months. Not as much. Dylan's in school, so we are both taking as much time as we can when we have time. Anyways, to get straight into this, first thing you'll probably notice is different from the last video I've made is these little barriers in between all the rooms. Now, we've added these little barriers. The first room that you spawn in has a 100% chance for all 4 doorways to have one of these barriers. These are to prevent any enemies coming directly into the room the second you spawn. So this candle right here cannot see me through this door barrier. And then I can break it by punching it 3 times. Still can't get past it, still can't see through it. And once I break it, the candles can now see me and attack. While I'm getting attacked by these candles, I'll show you the next major change we made, and that's going to be to our shopkeeper right here. The shopkeeper now serves a purpose. So we have attacks we can now unlock. I believe I may have shown an older UI for this in a past video, but this is our newest UI. It's not fully complete. There's still some bugs with it that we have to work out, but this is pretty much what you can expect to see in a later version of the game. So we have turned to this like card system, right? So every attack has a card. Some of them have like custom effects on the card, like this candle one looks like it's been charred, this acid one looks like it has some acid on it. Regular spin attack is just a regular old card, and every card will have a background as well. So this one has a sword on it for a melee attack, this one has an arrow for a melee attack, same here, and a price. So down here you've got 20 gold or 20 coins, 30 coins and 30 coins, a name and an icon. So Dylan's been doing a great job on all this art here for all these attacks, and as you can see, a cooldown down here, so that's how long it takes to recharge before you can attack again with the said weapon, and then a description. So a spin attack that knocks back and damages enemies in all directions around the player. And then the candle, the morals of such a weapon are questionable. Use a candle and it's a heat-seeking ability against your foes. And the acid launcher launches balls of acid that knock back and damage enemies within its impact radius. Now, I believe I've shown all these weapons or attacks on a previous video, but when you click on these, you can also see that it highlights it in yellow. And one really cool thing that I was super proud of was this little shadow effect that you can see behind all these cards. That was one thing that took me a long time to figure out. We didn't have the shadow at first, and you couldn't really tell which direction the cards are facing. I wanted them to feel kind of interactive and like they were following the mouse a little bit. So yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll buy the acid launcher and I'll buy the candle. When you buy the attacks, you'll see they pop down and populate the lower left corner. You can see I'm still on the claw, but I can switch to the candle now, and I can attack the candles with the candle. And with the acid launcher as well. So we've added a whole bunch of new rooms here. This is one of the new rooms we've added out of many, many, many more. I probably couldn't cover all of them in this video, and honestly, I don't really want to because I want it to be a surprise for people when they play the game. So this is one of the new rooms. This is a shopkeep in this room, and one of our mini bosses. So I'm going to go ahead and fight this mini boss, and I'm going to show you what this table now does. Okay, now I've killed him off. I have to try and survive these slimes real quick. Alright, now that those guys are out of the way and the world is now covered in slime, I can show you the workbench. So the workbench is going to be for upgrading your attacks. Currently there's only one upgrade tree available in the game right now, and that's for the claw. It's still in development, so this is not final whatsoever. Some art may be updated as we go, and the formatting of this might be updated as we go. And these attacks are all, I believe these are temporary unless I finish them now. I may have actually finished them. Alright, so when you click on an attack, it populates this area on the right, which is going to be your skill tree for a given attack. So to buy attacks, you can see this gold or coin meter up in the top left, or top right I should say, left side of the top right, is going to be for purchasing attacks. And then on the right side we have anima. This is what you get for killing enemies. Gold is what you get for opening chests and killing chest enemies. So The anima will be used to upgrade your attacks. So you can see here I have 2 available options. These ones down here in red, I can't click on them yet because they have a prerequisite of the one that the arrow, that this little yellow line is connecting them to. So anyway, here I've got damage 1. It increases the damage by 2 points. I can click that and upgrade it. You've got like a little animation that played right there. If you missed it, I'll play another one in just a moment. And then poison 1. This is not something I've implemented into the game yet, but something we plan for in the future is poison attacks. So if I click on this upgrade button, you watch this little icon. Closes, and now it says unlocked. You could click on these, since the icon's no longer shown, you can click on them still and see what they represent, in case you were like, hey, what did I unlock for this? So you can see we increase damage by 2 points and then unlocks poison damage for current attack 2 DPS. And then, yeah, I can go through, get damage 2, and adds 4 more points of damage. This adds another 4 more points of damage, and the price goes up more as you go. So now it's 14 anima. Then here, knockback 1, increases knockback by 4 points, increases knockback again, and then cooldown will reduce the cooldown by 0.2 seconds. And that was all for our claw attack, I believe. Alright, here's another enemy. And you can see I just knocked him back insanely far. I'm probably going to die here. Oh, no, I got him. Yep. So I was mentioning earlier we added a whole bunch of new dungeon rooms to our dungeon. I think I showed in the last devlog that we've given the dungeon a black background. It kind of just makes it a bit more clear what is part of and what is not part of the dungeon. We felt like it really brought the whole thing together. And we've added a whole lot of new rooms. Some still have more decorating to go, and some are more finished off. We have, I think, about, I'd say 20 or so rooms left in the first dungeon to decorate before we're finished with this one. So kind of our roadmap right now, just a real quick cover, is to finish up our first dungeon and to kind of finish a home area for the game, and then we want to get maybe a playtest out there at some point in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and show off some new enemies we've added to the game. Just note that these are not necessarily completed enemies. Some of them still have a lot of bugs and have a lot of work to go into them. This first one I'll start out with is quite buggy still, but we've got it in the works. More art needs to be completed for it, and code needs to be improved. But this is the puddle enemy. As you can see here, he follows you around, and eventually he'll turn into a puddle. Or he should. I believe I've tweaked with his code recently and broke him, unfortunately. But he'll turn into a puddle, and he'll splash on you when he's done. He's definitely still far in development, but you can see some of his animations right there. That's his death animation, and he'll likely fade away after you kill him. Another enemy we've added is the Stalker. This is one of my more favorite enemies we've added recently. So the Stalker has a very unique behavior compared to all the other enemies in the game. The Stalker will summon these hatchlings. Essentially, he'll get into a radius of you. He'll follow you around the map. Stalkers spawn randomly around the map. After a few seconds after the game starts, they'll start wandering randomly around the map until they find the player. When the player's found, they will essentially try to keep a distance from the player. So they're gonna stay a distance away from you, not get too close. And if you get too close to them, you can't attack them. So this is one really important thing to note, that if you only have melee attacks, there's really nothing you can do about these guys. Thankfully, all they do is summon these little hatchling guys, and they do, I think, minimal damage, maybe like 5 or 6 damage each, and they're insta-kill one shot. So you need to get a ranged attack to take care of this guy. So we'll get an acid launcher real quick. Now we'll go ahead and shoot him. He dies pretty quickly as well. Oh, and that's another bug. That looks quite disturbing. His skull is stuck red. Another thing we've added to the game is this floor trap. These will spawn in rooms that have floor traps spawn points in them. So it'll only spawn in spots where it blends in. I just place this here so it doesn't perfectly blend in with the floor, but typically if they're in a room you won't be able to see them until you get close. These floor traps, all they do is come up, shoot arrows, or these little trap projectiles, and then go back down to the ground. You can't really do anything about this. You can't kill them or anything. So you just pretty much want to avoid this. We're thinking about potentially having it damage enemies, potentially not. But yeah, this is another trap we have in the game, in addition to our brick enemy, which I'll show you again if you don't remember. So the brick enemy here, you just get in front of him and he'll launch out, shove you into the ground like that. He bugs out when we don't give him a valid spawn point. Alright, here's another pretty unique enemy we've added to the game. This is the barrel. The barrel can only move in 4 directions. So the barrel will not move in any diagonal directions to attack you. And essentially, it's a really hard enemy to get hit by, but it moves very fast, and it gets exponentially faster as it goes. So if I go up here, you can see if you're in a hallway, he's going to get you really fast. After he hits you, he kind of goes on a cooldown. He can't hit you for a bit. He's stuck here because this puddle or this gravel pile doesn't work well with projectiles yet. However, yeah, he'll follow you around the map, and he'll try to navigate in any 4 directions to get to you. Another thing we worked on recently was the dummy mimic. We gave him a bit of a rework. I wasn't very happy with how it was working initially. It definitely needed some improvement as its attack was kind of limited. So I'll go ahead and show that real quick. So when you approach the dummy enemy now, he'll follow you a bit better. He still has his like melee attack that he'll do, but it has more of an animation on it. But he now has a ranged projectile you can shoot at you. This projectile is also only shooting in the 4 cardinal directions. So you can only shoot it above him, to the left of him, to the right of him, and down. And the other thing about this projectile is he can shoot it through walls. So even if you're in another room that the dummy is not in, he can still technically shoot you through a wall. Pretty easy to avoid so long as you keep moving. However, it's another thing to look out for. And finally, I almost forgot, we have one more enemy. It's been so long, I can't keep track of all the stuff we've added since. A lot of these we added months ago and kind of have forgotten about. But we've added a new type of chest enemy in the game. So these ones are kind of an optional one that you can fight. These enemies have some gold sticking out. These ones don't activate just like the other chest mimics unless you directly interact with them. But if I go ahead and interact with this guy, he might kill me, but we'll see. This guy's pretty cool. He has a coin that spawns above his head, and when that coin hits a wall, it will spawn sub projectile. So you'll see here. And if you get hit by that coin, it does quite a bit of damage. But if you get hit by the sub projectiles, they do quite a bit less damage. He's still kind of in development a little bit. He's mostly done, however. Anyways, that will conclude everything for this devlog for November. Thank you to everyone so far who's subscribed to the channel on our YouTube and anyone who's liked any of the posts on LinkedIn. We're making some pretty good progress. We're hoping to work on the game a lot more going forward now that we're kind of settled down in our lives a bit and have found more time to work on it. But anyways, appreciate everything, and I'll see you in another one.